Good morning and welcome to this edition of Friday Morning Fish Fry. It's good to have you with us this morning. You know, it's a question I asked this morning is it ever okay to be critical? Now, I'm not talking about being critical of others and that type of thing, but in the book I just recently published, Ain't Nobody Really Happy at the Bottom Except Catfish, I talk about the three key elements for human achievement: attitude, belief, and commitment. And in the area of commitment, there's a part I write that I think is important for this morning, and that is critical self-analysis. We need to be critical once in a while of ourselves. Now, we're in a time of the year, the Lent season for many people is a very exciting time, and I liken this Lent period about 40 days, actually 46 days minus the 6 Sundays, but the 40 days like it used to be with Christmas, when the Christmas season didn't start till after Thanksgiving. Some of you are too young to remember that, but in fact that happened. And it would be after Thanksgiving before we would see everything and see the Christmas, and we had 4 weeks basically to be excited about the advent of the Christ child. Well, Lent is very similar to that in that we have 40 days, and it's a given 40 days. They don't back Easter up, and it's time when people have a tendency, and it's a good tendency, to take something and give something up, for they talk about giving up for Lent. And in a way, that's being critically self-analyzing. And that is when we take something that maybe is something that's not totally bad, but something that we'd be better off without for a while, and we rid ourselves of that. And that's what we mean when we talk about critical self-analysis. I'm just going to read you a paragraph, and here's what I wrote. A challenge to virtually everyone is the thought process of looking deep inside of ourselves and assessing what we find, whether it is good or bad. The self-analysis confrontation can be very frightening due to the fact that as rational human beings, there's a tendency to stuff unwanted feelings in advance of our past deep inside. In the process of stuffing or filling these uneasy and often hurtful events, which occur over time, we develop a system whereby we categorize events in files labeled happy, sad, hurtful, and the big one, do not touch. And in self-analysis is when we take a good look at ourselves and we begin to analyze where we are, where we've been, and where we want to go. It's important that we be honest with ourselves, that we look at it, we confront ourselves, and we just say, okay, here's where I want to go. So it's good to be critical, not critical if we stay in a critical spirit. Notice I didn't say have a critical spirit about yourself, but critically self-analyze yourself. I had the privilege yesterday to read the first, second, and third graders in a local elementary school, Dr. Seuss books, and I chose the one, Thornton Hatches and Hay. Can I tell you, that's a great book. If you got grandkids, get that and read it to them. It teaches another thing that we need to be really committed to, and that's to our word. There's a phrase in there that says, elephants are faithful 100%. In other words, he's faithful to do his task. Hey, as we look into the Easter season, as you look into your Lent season, as you move toward the celebration of the resurrection of Christ, it'd be a good time to just self-analyze. Look at yourself, get committed to who you are 100%, and just be happy. Move those files from the do not touch all the way up to the happy ones, because everything that's happened in our life helps us be who we are. And you know what? You're worthy to be loved. We love you. You have a great day, and God bless all of you, and have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.